Everybody hear about the thing we're going down at Constant Spring. Constant Spring. Because I say in Kingston, at the KFC place. You know hear about it, don't it? I tell you. I tell me, say, all across Jamaica, well, show me that Kingston, you know. Hey, it's serious, you know. It's serious. Trust me, it's serious. I mean, you know, say my eye, me I look at it at a different level, you know. Me I talk about very rich Jamaican people, very rich, and always get yourself in a them kind of situation there. If you have to wait 3 hours for fast food, I know fast food that. You know much food me can cook in a 2 hour rasta. And sit down in a car, I wait for 4 pieces of chicken leg and some whole heap of tomato sauce, we are not really tomato, and the pressure and the agony of just trying to get it. It's not a major thing though, you know. I mean, I put it as a major thing, you know, but it's part of the situation where Jamaica reach now. Yeah. Young ladies don't like to cook again, and the man them is forced to go find alternative.
We're not going to say those from 7 o'clock. Where we are town me I come from, that town cold. Full so we come around cold. Yeah.
I don't fight against restaurant, you know. I mean, used to run one, but it reached the American level, you know, where we make American way of life look normal in Jamaica. That is why you see the man them, I wear them underpants and mesh marine, I go a party. Yes? Just like how the daughter them, I wear denim shorts and brassiere, go a party. And they said rich. People are show off with what kind of shoes them buy from this place, what kind of design at this and designer that them have. And we know so only for them can't afford it. Can't afford it. But them force themselves to have it. And that is really a travesty in a Jamaica right now. Real travesty. But here we are, we will continue the journey. That may I say. And when you get it, if you keep living upon it, all my age is a far age for you reach. Yeah, far. You have people who reach up 50 and start ball already. Ball. They are doctor every day. At 50-year-old, 40-year-old, them they are doctor. And like them fall down and broke them foot, you know. It's internal combustion are going on in them. Where the people them don't know what to do when them find themselves in a situation that is not normal. Not normal. Like a hurricane lift off the top of your house. That is not normal. How much I have some, you know, them blue plastic where them have, where them people they put over them tent when them are sell. How much I have one of them down the yard. Everybody's supposed to have one of them blue a trapal in them call it. Yeah, it's a plastic trapal in them. Everybody's supposed to have one of them yard now, especially now, you know. Yeah, man. And you know, plan, you know, I say, you know, you have your mind on disaster, you know, but prevent is better than to cure them always tell way. That's why them tell you, say, don't drink and drive. And right now, some people, they will have to drink to mash up them car and mash up themselves and kill all one another. But, you see, the food thing, big problem. All we hear, Tufton are trying best. I try this and I try that. Tufton, you know, I tell the people them the right way and the right thing, you know. Because you're still involved in what is written and given to you by the American and the German them and all them something there. You can't come push that upon the people them, just like I want to push the vaccine upon the people them. You know, see, that most of them reject it and find alternative ways to fight it. And that is where we'll not give up the alternative ways where Granny know about. And even that extension, the Rasta man know about. Because it's very important. Right now, some people are searching for alternative ways. See them talk about plant-based food and all them something there. You can't wait till you reach over 50 and 60 to look about them something there, you know. You're supposed to live a sick-free life when you pass out 50. Because them say that a half a century. According to the Bible, them say, and the days of man shall be almost 70. 70, yeah. One on one's need them granny thinking, especially at this time, yeah. Can't wait for politician and can't wait for the ambulance to carry you to that. 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, them have diabetes. Over 20-year-old youth are going to get diabetes, Rasta. Them start to tell you, say, oh, you inherit it. Inherit what? 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old have all sorts of sickness when my granny never have. I'm reaching out, what I'm calling it, grandpa days. Grandpa days now. I see some young people have, I hear some young people have some sickness, and I say, oh, you get that? And you're just 20-year-old. Oh, you get that, and you're just 30-year-old. It's strange, man. Strange. Me reach a stage now where if the sickness reach me, I say, well, me reach a stage. Me reach a stage. We don't give up, but we reach a stage and say, well, I deserve it now because my life, me pass the stage now when nothing supposed to happen to me. You know, see, me reach a stage now where things supposed to happen. And me understand that. Me know whole heap of, you know, this and that about it. Me live in a world where see a certain way, and anything will happen out in the world can happen to me too. So it's not that me I expect it, but me I say, if it happened to me now, me not gonna feel like say my life never live good, and my life never this, and my life never that. Me live a good life, and me not want it to happen to me, but me still I take precautions. Still, we're going to take a break, a little round the round, and I check certain people. You know, say you have youth in a Jamaica where reach all nearly 40 will never see a live duck. It may sound like a weird thing when Muta talk about see life, so what that have to do with life? No, serious thing. You have youth in the ghetto, in the garrison them, and some parts of Kingston, will never see a chicken, a live chicken yet. Him name it every day, but him never see a live one yet. And you talk about duck, that worse. That is a creature who is extinct now in Jamaica. So we're going to see some mechanical things that move up and down, robot, AI, robot business. You know, me see in a Donald Trump parade the other day, them have some mechanical, a dog, them want to say a dog, a walk, a man a guide them mechanically, where them make it in a for war. War, just like how them a make the drone now. Instead of you put humans at risk. You have drones now, for Lego to bomb them and kill people. It kill people. When they mash up the drone, it no make no. It's a problem to them, but it's not a problem to them. Now in Jamaica, we are strive to be like America and behave like America. And if we don't like we don't see where we are going in America. We have our own little way. We come from, our ancestors come from Africa. And we have our own little thinking, own little way. But we adapt so much of the slave master, the British, and nowadays the American way of life. That we don't even understand ourselves and how to do things in a way that don't jeopardize our children coming behind us. That when they reach our stage now, them is not like AIs. Because you have a whole heap of youth AI now. Yeah, directly AI. Them can't operate without them cell phone. Can't. Them have to have a computer to do things when normal human beings supposed to do. People don't want to cook at them yard again. Well, give them, say them have work for going on them something there. But at least, man, at least, you know, man, I talk about him there, him there in a line from 6 o'clock and him there 3 hours. Man say him there 7 o'clock and him there 3 hours. I wait for some chicken leg. Yeah, and that be the fast thing, you know. So far me attack, I will come back out to the chicken leg. Yeah, I mean, like, really? Really? Are they so rich, black people? Eh? You sit down, let's know, you know how much food you could have cooked at your yard and put it in a little box or plastic, when one of them bowl with them have where you cover up and carry it, go and work with you. Eh? Because when you left here, you never know you're going to take 2 hours to find some food. Because you buy the food now because you never make no breakfast. Or you buy the food as your lunch. Every workplace should have a kitchen. And that means every place where people work should have a kitchen and employ a chef to look about real food. If it's even the people that have to buy the food. Yes, nothing wrong with that. If it's even you have to go buy the food, at least you have to stay upon the compound. One, if certain thing happen, you can't get called. Plus, more than likely, the food you get in the compound by the cook, by the chef, is normal food where you would have cooked at your yard. With the whole heap of this and the whole heap of that and the whole heap of poison where they put on the food and all them here there. Some people don't even know what real coconut oil smell like, even taste like. Real coconut oil, Jamaican coconut oil. They don't know how it smell, they don't know how it tastes. Because them used to little refined coconut oil where I come from Trinidad, or it come from Philippines, or it come from which part it come from. And them have the corn oil, soya oil, all them kind of oil there we have. I put power food we don't know how. And we have coconut here like worries. They are the coconut blow down half a tree because we but it come back. That's like how the plant them and the banana them come back. What we have to do is sell people. Get back to reality, man. We are living in a dream world. Fantasy, illusion. We are grab at things we're not dead there. But we mind I tell you say it dead and it's not dead there. Because when we grab and open up, we don't see nothing. Nothing at all in our hand. And we in our brains I think. And some of we can't cope. So them say a whole heap of people now have mental issues in Jamaica. I think them say 40% of the people them have mental issues. Can you believe that? Where you have mental issues for, you have sunlight, you have water, you have good air. Jamaica, people are claiming Jamaica a paradise. You know what people well want to see something like this when they wake up a morning time. And they are going like say it no exists. You run go to the thinking and the belief of America and Americanize your mind, Americanize your clothes, Americanize all the way how you deal with one another. And the gun them coming out of the country from America. People are sell gun come have to kill off the Jamaican them. Who did them something there? We don't know. And the same people them in Jamaica do it. Have them contacts over so. Wake up, man, from your sleep and slumber. Wake up. And this is the time to do it now, you know, because certain things at work And it now working on our interest. I tell you, say, the artists, they might find some love song in them heart, man. But the amount of love song when we get from my WhatsApp and my email, that nice, man. Sweet, yes, sweet. And we will play this tune, I want you to know that we're going to have an interview. We're not take the call them yet, you know. We have an interview for that. After the next round advertisement, we have an interview for those. I was on the program with a couple several weeks ago, you know, and he's back again. And good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Musa. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, man. Remind the people them about your name and all them stuff. You know? Remind them who you be.
My name is Roland Oatley, and I'm from an organization called Justice for Windrush Generation.
Okay. All right. I see you have about Sunday is Windrush Sunday. What is that? I never hear about it yet, but tell me what is Windrush Sunday. What is Windrush Sunday?
Well, Sunday is, first of all, good afternoon, our greetings to that, wherever you are listeners, wherever you are in the world. This Sunday, 22nd of June, is Windrush Day. Windrush Day because on the 22nd of June, 1948, was when one of the first ships to the UK carried individuals from the Commonwealth to Britain, rebuild Britain after the Second World War.
World War, yeah.
That ship was called Windrush. It's a German battleship that was seized by the British from the Germans during the Second World War and renamed after a village or a river in UK. That because that ship was one of the first ships, because back then, as you know, Muta, people used to travel on ship.
Yeah.
Not on plane like you're doing, you know, Muta. Right, so they used to travel on ship then. So because of that, the Windrush generation, those individuals who traveled from 1948 to 71 to the UK were called the Windrush generation. So Windrush Sunday, 22nd of June, and because 22nd of June, 1948, that initial trip, so to speak, though there are many other people from the Commonwealth that were in the UK long before 48. Yes, there are other ships and other individuals were there from 16th, 17th century and even before that, you know.
So how you going to celebrate it? How you going to celebrate it?
Well, it's going to be quite a number of activities that will be held in the UK. Quite a number of activities will be held in the UK. But in terms of Jamaica, there's nothing fixed as such specific for that day. However, there will be events coming up later on in the year, in early August. 1st and the 2nd of August. The 1st of August, we will be at poolside at Harborview. And then the 2nd of August, and you would have heard this location before, Muta, we'll be back again up in Rumble at Kynes Lawn in St. Thomas. And those 2 dates are significant. I know many individuals would rather this Sunday, the 22nd, with it being Windrush Day. However, as you know, we will be close to Jamaica's independence. It's that weekend. Jamaica again independent. It's independent.
The 1st of August, Emancipation Day too.
Right, exactly. So that is significant. And those, when Jamaica gained its independence, and other Commonwealth country, those individuals, though they were born as British voter, after Jamaica gained independence in 62, those individuals, those Jamaicans who were British prior to independence, wherever you are in the world, would have lost your independence. Sorry, would have lost your British citizenship. Okay? So in order to retain or reinstate that British citizenship, you would have to go through a process, i.e. to naturalize if you were in the UK to gain back your British citizenship, so to speak. Those that were outside the UK, not only Jamaicans, those individuals from the Commonwealth, that their country gained independence, they would have lost their citizenship and would not be able to reinstate it, so to speak, because they're outside the UK. So with all that said, Muta, 1st and the 2nd of August are significant dates, and those individuals that are interested to hear more about the Windrush generation and hear more about the Windrush compensation schemes, both the state of scheme and the compensation scheme. 1st of August, Poolside Harborview. 2nd of August, Kynesland, Rumble District, St. Thomas. At Kynesland, we'll be hosting an event. It's called Windrush in Session. Windrush in Session starts at 12 noon, from 12 noon until 8 p.m. That is the fun day element of it, Muta. From 10 a.m. till the early hours of the morning, we'll have Windrush in Session extended. That we're going to have a live band, a number of artists will be there, music, and the Great Bodyguard sound system will be there as well.
So that is all right. So what is it? What is it that will happen in these 2 days that will be able to sensitize the people about Windrush? Apart from the music
right,
and
so,
the dancing and the party and everything, what is it that is happening? That those who want to know about Windrush can come.
Right, so in terms of the compensation scheme, that's very important. There is a misunderstanding about the compensation scheme. A lot of people assume that it's only those people that are in the UK can apply to the scheme. So what we'll do, if anyone, those that are interested in hearing more about the compensation scheme, I will be talking to them in detail, in a presentation in detail about eligibility and entitlement. Eligibility is who can apply to the scheme, Muta. Entitlement is entitlement is what was done to you, what happened to you, what was done to you by the Home Office in the UK, the British Home Office, that would cause you to be entitled to compensation. So I'll be going into the intricacies and the details of the scheme that people can have a better understanding. Another assumption, Muta, that is made that those people that were entitled to compensation and have now passed on are deceased, that compensation, so to speak, is dead and gone, Muta. That certainly is not the case. Because if your grandmother, Muta, was entitled to compensation and she has passed on, the next the executor of the estate, your grandma's estate, or the next of kin can make that claim. There's a protest and a protocol, obviously. So those are the things that I'll be going into, Muta. In addition to that, Muta, I will also be explaining and giving detailed information about the returning resident visa, Muta. As those individuals who travel say up there in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, some of them went to the UK, lived there for 6, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, and returned to the country where they came up from. Or many of them even traveled to the USA and Canada. Those individuals, by default, in most cases, would have had indefinite leave to remain. However, meaning indefinite leave to remain, it means exactly what it says on the tin. You live there as long as you want. However, as a consequence of them leaving the UK and staying outside the UK for 2 years or more, they would have lost their indefinite leave to remain. Now, those individuals that applies to can now apply for what is called a returning resident visa to go back out. Yeah. So those are the things that are going on.
Hold on there. And you have ones already who get that kind of visa to go back to England? Or something new?
Very poignant question. Yes, we moved all over that question. Yes, definitely. The Windrush schemes were launched in 2019, and quite a number of individuals have used the scheme to facilitate just that. Apply and return to the UK and continue living, picked up from where they left off, so to speak. Obviously, Muta, there will be some struggles along the way when they return. One particular gentleman, and he was in the news, a few days ago, Mr. Winston Knight. Mr. Winston Knight went there, was born in Jamaica, went there before he got to the age of 18 years old, and for some reason, the UK government chose to deport him around 2013, 2014. And Mr. Knight was out here for a number of years in Jamaica from 2013 until the 12th of June, a few days ago, where the Home Office had to admit that they were wrong, accommodate Mr. Knight in a hotel and accommodation here as far as I flew him back to the UK, and Mr. Knight is now back in the UK, and there are a couple others as well that over the past 3 to 4 weeks where they have the same characteristics, so to speak, in terms of their experience and the chronology of events, and they had to take them back to the UK.
So what them usually deport? what them usually deport?
Yeah,
like the person we are talking about. What was he deported for?
Yeah.
Why
I'm
them
going to speak in
deported?
generality. I'm not going to speak specifically about this case, but I'm going to speak in generality. In many cases, a number of individuals, Muta, you know, sometimes they might get caught with a split or make a wrong turn, a right turn when they should make a left turn, metaphorically speaking.
Or speed.
Yeah, metaphorically and literally, Muta. But they were deported. They should not have been, because as far as the scheme is concerned, and many are concerned, is that those individuals were British. They were born in Jamaica, yes. But Muta, as I've said previously before, if they had gone to the UK and win the Olympic or going win some football medals like the great Johnny Barnes and so on, and many other Jamaicans, they would not say they are Jamaicans, because culturally and the surroundings, that the environment that they grew up made them British. So therefore, when there's something negative aligned with the name, why should they be classed? Why should they be classed as Jamaican? And we are saying they should, dismiss their Jamaican culture and heritage. That's not what we're saying. You get what I'm saying, Muta? So those individuals, many individuals saw over the years, Muta, over the past few years, 3 to 4, 5 years, and before that is deported back to Jamaica. Many individuals assume, Muta, that they have done something wrong. You understand? Yeah. And a lot of people assume that they're involved in the Coca-Cola business, cocaine or whatever drug business. In many cases, Muta, they are not involved in that sort of thing. They should not have been deported. Many of those individuals, what I'm saying to those individuals now, step forward, engage, find out about the scheme. What the scheme
hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, but only for one we're really getting deported out here,
Yeah.
Them get deported under the Windrush umbrella. Meanwhile, them was under the Windrush umbrella, and them get deported just as some youth will do something in England and them deport them. Can you be deported?
Right. Yeah.
You talk about the Windrush ones, them who did there and get deported in terms of being citizen of British.
Yeah. To answer to answer that question is entirety, Muta, I'll go back a little bit. Because the assumption is made again in many cases, Muta, that the Windrush generation are just some people who go there on the ship and so on. It's not only them, it's them and beyond that. Okay, the scheme is far. They and their descendants. So you'll find many individuals that even went up there probably in the early 80s and even later than that would still be under the Windrush umbrella as a speak and were deported and should not have been deported, Muta.
All right. Even if them do a criminal activity.
Yes, even if they have done a criminal activity. But I'm not going to go into the intricacies and details of that because I don't want to mislead anyone. But I say, even if they have done a criminal activity, not in all cases, but in many cases, if not most cases, Muta. So if they have done a criminal activity,
hold on. But me I try to get the things straight. I don't want you just jump over everything, man. All right.
No, I'm not jump over it.
All right. A Windrush father, old man, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Him have a youth, and him come back to Jamaica. The father come back to Jamaica, but him youth up there, and him youth have a next youth, and the next youth they know do something in England, and them deport him.
Yeah.
Him can't get status to go back there as a British person.
All right.
Under the Windrush argument.
The two youths we are talking about, the son and the grandson, them born in England?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, them born in England.
They should be able to get, they're born in England. Yes, they should be able to get status to go back up here. And even, depending on the situation, if they were not born in England, depends on when and where from, and a number of other things, they can still get status to go back to England. I remember I said those that went up here before they got to the age of 18 years old can apply to the scheme to return there if they're deported. Because one of the things in the scheme, Muta, is this: if your parent or grandparent came from a Commonwealth country, that Commonwealth connection, that's what you need to understand. You can apply to the scheme, depend on the circumstances. But there are many elements to it, Muta. So we need to understand different stages and different elements of it. And the only we will really understand it, Muta, is to engage with someone like myself. Talk to me and I'll talk.
Well, that's why I talk to you.
The details. Talk through the details and the intricacies of the scheme that you can understand. And it's not only Roland Ozin that's doing this. There are many others out there that doing similar things to what I'm doing. So there are many advocates out there. Most important thing, if your parent or grandparent came from a Commonwealth country and you've ever lived in the UK, you need to be finding out about the scheme. If you've got parents that travel, or family members, or friends that travel to the UK, whether they are deceased or alive, you should get in touch with myself and others to find out about the scheme to see if you're eligible and entitled to compensation or the returning resident visa or any other visa. In fact, what you should not do, Muta, or anyone else, I use you, I mean, pluralistically, do not make your decision based on assumption, engage, get into the understanding of the scheme, what the scheme is about. Go on Google, type in Windrush compensations, type in Windrush, type in Roland Ozin, and I'm going to give my contact details out there. Get involved, get engaged. You may not be interested in going back to England because England is a very cold place, but you may be entitled to some compensation. Are your grandchildren, or your grandmother's estate, or grandparents' estate may be entitled to compensation. Get in touch, find out.
Let me ask you a question. If my parents or whatsoever was part of the Windrush generation and me never go live in England, can I claim for them on behalf of them?
Yes.
Without going to England at all?
Yes, Muta. You establish, just treat it like say them can leave a house in England. Okay, I'm not saying that, but treat it like that. So the next Afghan, you are the next Afghan, say establish that, you are the next Afghan Muta, or you're the executive of the estate, let's say leave a will. Then you still right in Jamaica without going to England. Establish that you are that person that should do it. And you claim for the compensation as long as you can establish definitively that individual, your grandmother, grandfather, whatever, uncle, or whoever, was impacted. And in addition to that, Muta, you have to get some lawyers or attorneys to assist you, to take you through the process, so to speak. They establish that you are the right person, Muta. The compensation scheme will put up to £1,500 for you to engage with the lawyer, for the lawyer to facilitate that process.
Let me say me about house in England then. What this Papa way I say me about house in England for go claim.
Yes, Muta. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a house in England for claim.
So Muta, whenever you claim it, get in touch with Roland Ozin and he will show you the process. That's what you need.
I'll get in touch. I'll get in touch with you. I'll get in touch with you, man.
Yes, know that. The telephone number for that Muta is a WhatsApp number. You can call straight, but you can do WhatsApp as well.
I don't want the house, I just want a lump sum. I don't want the house.
Whichever work you want.
So I'm not going to England.
However, the first thing you need to do is talk to Roland Ozin. Let's speak with Roland Ozin. He will show you to get the lump sum, and you get the lump sum, you go from there. Telephone number is...
Give me the telephone number where the people them can contact you.
This is the telephone number, 447-999-178-111.
Come again, man. Say the thing right now, man. 44...
Let me not read right. Yeah, 44...
And I hear you know.
7... Yeah, you hear me now?
I'm gone.
No, I'm still there. Yeah, you hear me? No, I don't know what happened there.
You might talk, but I hear.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Here?
I don't know.
Yo.
No, I don't. Yes, can you hear me, Muta? I can hear you, Muta. I don't know what's happening. I'm hearing you.
FM really rocking, you know?
I don't know where I'm going.
It seems there's a technical Muta. As I can hear you, I don't know where you're hearing.
Yeah. Who don't there hear me? Nobody not hear me down there. Oh, me hear you now. Oh, I know my line up down there. Me hear you now. Him still there? Well, as me go defend my lump sum, him come in back, brethren. Boy, I'm a lump sum, yeah. Tell you. As me go talk about my lump sum no phone number, him gone, him get locked off. Some guy no want me get my lump sum. Alright, I could see if you can play a tune that they come forward. Yeah? You like give me a number? Nah, you're properly, you know.
Yeah, you me?
Yeah, you can't give me the number?
Yes, I can give the number. No, it's plus 799. That's 999.
Wait, no, hold on, man. Plus 799. Yeah?
Plus 799 111. That is 4 7.
I hear the word them, you know. I hear the word them, believe you me. You think now work properly now, Bridget? Yeah, text the number now, text the number. But I can't hear him. So, you can't do the interview if I not hear him. At 4 o'clock anyway, it'll have to done still. We have to go about this. Well, it's supposed to done by now still. We give thanks to the bridging. Step up to the plate and I really want to text number there. Yeah, I want to text number. Yes. Because I don't go to England more than when I go do something. But I have family who dead up there. Yeah, I have family who dead up there. And left house and all them something there. All right. So, we're going to move on. You know, we have the People's Court line up here. We have a lawyer here. Let's see the lawyer name. I have to name Kimberly Dobson. Kimberly Dobson. We'll talk to her. Oh, you get lawyer. Okay. Okay, so next part of the program we are working with us now is the People's Court. All right. So we're talking to a lawyer here, Kimberly Dobson. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Oh,
thanks for having me.
You sound very bright, ma'am. You sound very bright. I love that.
Thank you.
All right. So we're talking about marriage and divorce and all these things. And I was told that you're the right one to talk to about these things, that you can give the people them, well, we're talking about not in court terms, but in normal people terms like me.
Yes, man.
Yeah. So the legal system as it relates to divorce and marriage and all these things. What is it when you're dead? Not when you're dead. When you're divorced. Why is it that there's so much disturbance amongst the parties them that involved in the divorce in terms of sharing up what them have and what them do have, who did own what, who never owned that, everything where they own that, the two of own it. Explain to the people them. What is that?
Well, why you ask that question? Why things get so bad sometimes? When love is lost, any card can play, basically. So, the law is in place to assist persons with their disputes when it comes to dealing with assets of the marriage when you're getting divorced. I mean, it was always good if parties can talk amongst each other from like an objective, nice, calm place. Because when you go to court, you don't always get the decision that you want or the outcome that you would want.
Yeah.
All
right, no, go on.
Well, I was going to go ahead now and talk about what the court uses or considers when it is dividing up property. And that, yes, it's a law called the Property Rights of Spouses Act, which deals with it. So that steps in whenever parties can't agree amongst themselves. You wanted to go ahead and ask me something?
No, yes. So All right, if you in a marriage where the two want to buy a piece of land and the two broke up now, how that go? Who get the land and how you divide up that?
It all depends. So what is this land? Because the act deals with family home different from the other things you may own in the marriage. So if this land is like a piece of land that where the matrimonial home is, what the law calls a family home, then the law provides that it is 50-50. But you can fight that. If it is, you can show the court that it is unfair or unjust that this person should be entitled to an equal share based on how we buy the property or what we had agreed. Some things that persons that he use a lot is that the marriage was of a short duration, or the property was inherited through a family member before they met their spouse, or they owned the place before. So it all depends. But let's say it's not family land. Let's say it's not the place where you live ordinarily every day as your matrimonial home.
Yeah.
Then the court will divide it depending on the circumstance. So it's not equal 50-50 in that instance.
Explain the circumstance. Explain it because the two of them, remember me, the two of them buy the land, you know.
Oh,
right?
both
And the two of them, it depends on the papers that is Mr. and Mrs. whatsoever depend it. And now them divorce.
But if it's family, so let's...
No, it's not family land, it's not family land.
Said other land now, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to other land now, the court look at many things. Well, I shouldn't say many, but a lot of things. So they will consider contribution, both financial and non-financial. It will consider how long the parties were married, if there was some agreement at the time when they were buying the land between themselves, how it would go, you know, probably their conduct toward the property, who took care of it, who did what. If it is, and as I said, they talk about contribution, both financial and non-financial. So non-financial contribution can look like a spouse giving assistance to the other person in terms of like helping them in their business so that they can make more money for the benefit of the family. If they took care of the house and the child so that the other spouse could focus on other things for the benefit of the family. Maybe the woman would have given up like her career to focus on the house and the child so that her husband can go out and make the money for the family. So the court will look at that. All of those factors or any other thing that you can put to the court to say, no, judge, it's fair or unjust that while the 12 our name on it, he or she shouldn't get equal share as me because I did more. So it all depends on the circumstance.
So you pay for the house. Well, what do you call it? You lease, you go and you pay every month. What do you call it? Mortgage.
Your mortgage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you pay a mortgage every month for about 20 years. And when you don't pay the mortgage now, are you pay the mortgage by yourself? Or she pay the mortgage by herself? And now them divorce now. The judge are going to take into consideration what? That I did stay home and look after the house, what she pay the whole of the mortgage, almost $1 million for the mortgage. So
yes, so the court will still look at that. Because the court doesn't believe that money is more or is on a higher level than your non-financial contribution. So it will equate both physical services, domestic services,
yes,
as financial contribution.
Domestic services to who?
Money for the benefit of the family, all of that.
Yeah.
So the court just trying to be fair. It will always try to be fair to both to the parties before it.
So, all right. So what I'm to win? Because this is something. What I'm to win? One of the partner them have somebody outside, but yet still them a look after the house same way, and them a pay the mortgage same way, but them have somebody outside.
Doesn't matter. The court doesn't look at fault. So when you're getting divorced, Jamaica doesn't offer it on a fault basis when it comes to divorce. All you need to show to the court is there's just been a breakdown of the marriage. We've been separated for 1 year or more, and we're just not going there back. We can't there back. It's just not going to happen. and you apply for your divorce. So the court wouldn't hold it against a spouse to say, well, you're cheating on your wife, so you should get less interest. No, if that's really what you're asking me.
Yeah, that may ask you.
No. Jamaica doesn't work on fault divorce.
What do you call it?
Fault.
Fault
I believe
divorce.
America has that system where it's fault, meaning you cause the breakdown of the marriage, so you should be penalized.
Okay.
Jamaica doesn't operate on that. You just need to show that we've been separated for 1 year and it's broken down so badly that we cannot be back together. They call it irreconcilable differences.
All right. So what to them call prenup thing now when people sign the prenup arrangements? Oh, that
prenup.
Yeah.
So prenup is basically
people that are Jamaica. Yeah, people that are Jamaica.
Some people do it. Some people do it. Some people don't. It just all depends on the assets that you have before you're going to your marriage. If you decide that it's in my best interest to put an agreement in place to protect the assets I had before the marriage. And when you do that, the court does, let's say there's an argument later down about other property of the marriage, right? Because the agreement only dealt with the assets you had before the marriage.
Yeah.
So, but the spouse that you're getting divorced from trying to fight you for an asset that you had before the marriage, that was already in the agreement. You can drop your agreement now to the judge and say, Judge, but we already sorted this out. She agreed that this is mine and she won't come after it. And the judge will consider that to say, well, you had an agreement in place.
Okay.
Now, Jamaica Act doesn't say prenup per se. It just says that parties in considering to get married or contemplating marriage, they can enter into an agreement as it relates to their property. But you can't just do it between the both of you in terms of nothing in writing. The agreement, for the court to recognize it, it has to be in writing, and it has to be witnessed by a JP or a lawyer, and there has to be a lawyer that signs to say, I have explained to the spouse the implications of this document and what they're signing to. Otherwise, the court won't uphold it.
All right, so I can ask you the question now. The man have an outside youth and the woman did have an outside youth before they married. And now them a break up now. The children them have rights to anything if them them have to wait till the parents them dead.
Well, the children have children, even if it's not your birth child. So if as long as the other spouse accepted that child as a child of the marriage, then they will be considered as a child of the marriage. But children don't really come into play in terms of getting anything out of property when you have property rights proceedings.
Even if them dead, even if the parents them dead, even if the parents them dead.
If the parents died, you're gonna have a person representing the estate of the parents to deal with if there's a fight going on. But if the parent died, let's hope there's a will. The will deal with.
No, but Jamaican people, look at Jamaican people have no will about the place, you know. And when I say, no, if the father have a son outside of the marriage, and the mother have a daughter outside the marriage, and then the two of them dead and left a big mansion and a business place and everything, how them get that, or you work out that?
That's a different thing now. That won't come under property rights unless there's a debate about who is entitled to what. That would fall under ordinary. If there's no will in place, it would fall under what we call laws of intestacy. So intestacy would say, well, no will is in place, so the law determines how any asset of a deceased should be shared.
How them decide it? How them decide it?
Well, I don't know what the legislator used to decide it, but him write it down. He write it down. So, under intestacy, if there's no spouse alive, then the child or children would inherit what the parent left behind.
Yeah, no, I know them would inherit it, but one I go say him are the older one, or the other one I go say him are the younger one, or one I go say me not have no house. And that is where family broke down now. That is where you hear man a chop up people for family dead left and all them something.
Dead left, right, yeah, man. That's something different from property that you're trying to share up during a divorce. Okay. That would more be just like you're bringing somebody to court for the court to determine who has the right to own this piece of property, which would be a different set of principles applied to it.
Well, that's why I'm going to ask now, what is the logics that govern that? When the two people them now reach a stage where mama dead, father dead, left the house, and now who are going to decide what is what and what is not? How them decide that?
The laws of intestacy would decide who gets what. But
the laws of what?
The laws of intestacy. So that's what comes into play if somebody dies and no will is left. So the law will say who gets what. And if there's, let's say the spouse died and the spouse didn't have a spouse at the time they died, right? Then the children will get everything. But let's say the spouse died and the other spouse is alive, then half of everything would go to the spouse that's alive and the other half will go to be shared among the children.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break and see where we can come to conclusion in this thing. This is the stepping ways. I would in the People's Court and very interesting argument going on about marriage and divorce, which is a big thing in Jamaica. Yeah, marriage and divorce. Wife is a stepmother for the picnic, right? The man you to know. But the man own the house where the man and the wife and the picnic live in now. The man and the wife divorce. What is the status of that child in the realms of the thing?
If the child was accepted as a child of the marriage during
the
marriage,
the man child,
yes, it's gonna be treated as a child of the marriage. So when you say no, the court don't make a distinction if because the child is only a child of one parent. As long as the other spouse accepts the child and is considered a child of the marriage, and that child will be entitled to the usual rights that child is entitled to.
Okay. And if the child is not where the two of them disagree, the child and the mother, the stepmother can't get on because the father dead. And the child never did like the mother for a long time. But the house belonged to the father. But obviously it belongs to the two of them now, the mother and the child and the father. So is there anything that the child can do to upset the whole apple cart now where the mother get what she deserve, or the court are going to look at it and say, since the child is the bloodline of the child is the father, she should have be the one to receive that. How them work that out?
Okay, let me see if I understand what you're saying. So are you saying the father died, leaving the child and the mother in the house, but the child is upset that the mother is entitled to the house?
The mother, them can't get on in the house. The wife is the stepmother, of the child.
Right.
And them can't get on in the house. What can the mother or the child do to alleviate the problem? Because she now give up the house, the child now left the house, but them can't live together. What is the outcome of that? How them work out the house part of it?
Well, the child has no right to the house. It's not the child's house. It depends who is on the title. Whose name is on the title?
Who the title?
The father is on the title, and the mother is on the title. The child is a child. The child should stay in a child's place. If the child is under 18, they just have to stay there and deal with the situation. But let's say it's a thing where the child is over 18, and they believe that for some reason the mother should not be entitled to this property. They can apply to the court, but they would have to do a particular application to basically to stand in the shoe of the father to challenge the mother for whatever basis. Because the child itself don't have a right to that place. directly like that, unless the child's name was in a will, or when they die, when the parent would have died and they would have the interest through intestacy, then whatever application would have been done by whichever attorney to get the child's name on the title. At that point, the child themselves can make whatever application to the court, because they would have an immediate right, because their name is now on the title after the intestacy things have been dealt with.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I hear what you say. I will if a picnic I go like that when them hear that. Because them feel
right,
for them father.
Yeah, people tend to believe that once a parent dies, you automatically own the house. No. If there's no will, you don't automatically own the property. You just have an interest in it. So certain steps would need to be taken in law so that that child's name can go on the title through inheritance.
Okay. All right. So give a little overview now of what we just talk about and what the people them should remember in this conversation when it come on to divorce and man and woman thing. Tell me, just give them a little run up of what them should remember and what them should really take heed to.
Well, what I will say is this. When persons are going through their breakup, they tend to be very emotional and not logical. I would say that it's always best when the parties have talked about it and decide that, hey, we're just not working out, we need to separate. At that point, I think it's always better if the parties themselves agree how all the affairs of the marriage will be dealt with. Who gets what, who the child will live with, how the access going to go, how much maintenance you should get the child should get per month, who gets what out of the house, in terms of furniture and so forth. Because when you go to court, the court doesn't always give you the outcome that you want. So it's better you try and figure it out yourself. And it may take longer than you want. And sometimes you just want to put that part of your life behind you and start your new chapter.
Okay.
So I would say try and work it between yourselves. And where you cannot work it between yourselves, then you see the assistance of an attorney at law and not a village lawyer. See the assistance of an attorney at law, so the attorney at law can guide you based on the law.
And not a village lawyer,
and not a village lawyer, yes. Yes. You know how that goes.
I know what the problem. Especially if they didn't like the man or the woman from a long time.
Right. You just never know who you're listening to,
Yeah,
so it's better you go to the professional. Go to the professional, let the professional guide you.
So you still practice this thing, and suppose somebody will listen to you and say, "Why we really want to contact the lawyer there, or we can't do it, or you just prefer to just keep yourself off of the ear." How it go?
No, man, they can contact me. And they can email me. My email address is KIMBERLEEDOBSONLAW@gmail.com. Or they can call our business line at 876-550-5984.
All right, I have the number then. All right. Well, give thanks. It was a helpful thing. I was picturing some whole heap of conversation where I have with people about this thing, and it really helped to really reason about it more in depth, listening to you, So give thanks for that. Yes. Especially for those of them who have your wife and your sweetheart, them really.
Yes. Because, things happen, and sometimes, yes, some things are within our control and some things are not. But if you can work it out between yourselves,
Work it out.
Work it out. If you can work it out between yourselves.
Yes.
You can save the family unit. All right?
Yeah, give thanks. Yeah?
All right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, all right. Yes, bye. That was really interesting about the wife and the husband. And that thing where every Jamaican were married and divorced, it always poses a problem. Always. When it come on to who is for what and what is for who and all them something there. And they have children involved in that. That time of the day again, very important part of the program, this, trying to reclaim your name. Yeah, trying to reclaim name, African names. So here we go now. We have Dalila, Dalila, D-A-L-I-L-A, Dalila. Means gentleness is her soul. Gentleness is her soul. Kamara, C-A-M-A-R-A, Kamara. Kamara means one who teaches from experience. One who teaches from experience. Bimkubawa. All right, I can spell it right. Bimkubawa. B-I-M-K-U-B-W-A. Bimkubawa. A great lady. And Ishe, E-S-H-E, Ishe means life. So that's Dalila, D-A-L-I-L-A, Dalila means gentleness is her soul. Bimkubawa, B-I-M-K-U-B-W-A, Bimkubawa means a great lady. Kamara, C-A-M-A-R-A means one who teaches from experience. And Ishe, E-S-H-E means life. Male names. Imiche, E-M-E-C-H-E, Imiche. Imiche means one who acts wisely. Faiza, F-A-I-Z-A. Faiza means victorious. Ghanaiya, G-H-A-N-I-Y-A. Ghanaiya means rich. And Adiya, H-A-D-I-Y-A. Adiya means gift. So that's Imiche, E-M-E-C-H-E, means one who acts wisely. Faiza, F-A-I-Z-A, means victorious. Ghanaiya, G-H-A-N-I-Y-A, means rich. And Adiya, H-A-D-I-Y-A, means gift. You know, we are headed out to 22 jerk as we left here. Yes. You know, the sister Delaman let me do a big tune a couple years ago. We have to pay respect to her, you know, she's sick. And we have to go pay respect. So we are head out to a Barbican Road, 22 Barbican Road, a jerk we go, yes. So this time of the day we usually feature artists. And last night we feature Leroy Gibbon, who passed away the day before. Leroy Gibbon is one of the artists them who take any foreign tune and put on any reggae or dancehall rhythm. Yes, not many artists can do that and don't go out of key or sound weird. So we will feature Leroy Gibbons. Yes.
And now the details. Citizens being able to feel safe enough to leave windows and doors open remains a primary objective of the Jamaica Labour Party administration. JLP leader Prime Minister Andrew Holness highlighted the promise while addressing party supporters in St. Mary yesterday. The open windows and doors promise was a crucial part of the JLP's campaign in past elections and has been used by the opposition People's National Party to chastise the JLP government because this has not been achieved. Dr. Holness outlined the gains made by the police force in recent years with crime reduction, especially murder. The Prime Minister said the overall objective is to have a peaceful country.
So yes, we congratulate our security forces, but we at the same time explain to the people that it is the policies of the government that has made the crime-fighting effort effective. So it is plain that this is an area in which your government has had tremendous success. But I want to put that in another perspective. The reduction in murders and other major crimes is good, but what peaceful country. The ultimate objective is to ensure that all of you can feel that you can go anywhere in your country, leave your windows and doors open, and nobody going to trouble you.
He said citizens would benefit from cost savings in a peaceful country.
The ultimate objective is to ensure that if you're a woman in the country, you don't have to fear domestic abuse. And there are some men too who are victims of domestic abuse. Ultimately, we want to make sure that if a conflict arises in your community, that it does not become a conflict where violence is used to resolve it. Ultimately, we want all Jamaicans to embrace peace. That is what we want. And there is great dividends to be gained, great profit for you personally to be gained when our country is peaceful. I want you to consider, you know how much money people spend on burglar bar and camera and security? Whole heap of money. Can you imagine if that were spent on something else?
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. 3 people were murdered in separate incidents in St. James and St. Catherine last night. One of the incidents was a double murder. The victims are 32-year-old teacher Vanessa Williams and 36-year-old taxi operator Matthew Chin, both of Guineptree Lane, Montpelier, St. James. The other man killed has not yet been identified. Reports from the Antrovy police are that about 10:12 p.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On their arrival, Chin was seen slumped over the steering wheel of a Toyota Vauxhall motor car, while Williams was seen face down beside the vehicle, both with gunshot wounds. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. Meantime, over in St. Catherine, 1 man was shot dead and 3 others were wounded last night. The shooting occurred on Bamboo Palm Drive in Munza, Portmore, St. Catherine. The police said the man who died appeared to have been in his early 20s and had a cornrow hairstyle. He was clad in a blue and yellow long-sleeve shirt, a pair of black shorts, and a pair of black slippers. Police reported at about 10:40 p.m. the 4 persons were traveling in a motor car. On reaching Bamboo Palm Drive, they were pounced upon by men armed with handguns and rifles who opened fire on the vehicle, hitting all 4 men. They were taken to hospital where 1 died and the other 3 admitted. 3 of the 5 men fatally shot during separate alleged confrontations with the police in Westmoreland and St. Catherine today have been identified. They are 22-year-old Jadine Love and his brother 23-year-old Jordan Love, both of Westmoreland, and Damien Nemhard of St. Catherine. The Love brothers were shot along Hermitage Road in Bethel Town. The incident occurred about 5:23 a.m. Police say 2 firearms were recovered. In another incident also in Westmoreland, an unidentified man was shot dead along Bath Road in Savannah, Lamar. Police seized 1 firearm along with 3 rounds of ammunition during this incident. There are also reports of another fatal shooting in Westmoreland. No detail has yet been provided on this incident. Over in St. Catherine, Nemhard was shot dead along Huckberry Avenue in Spanish Town about 5:27 a.m. 1 firearm was seized. Assistant Commissioner of the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, Hamish Campbell, said all incidents are being probed.
Yes, well, Indicom were informed of today at least 5 fatal shootings by the JCF. There were 2 fatally shot in Betheltown early hours of this morning. Another individual was also shot and killed in Betheltown at 7:30 this morning. There was another person shot and killed by an off-duty police officer in George Plain, Westmoreland today. And there was another person killed at Damien Nembard in Huckleberry Avenue, St. Catherine, at 5:30 this morning. Officers attended some premises. They were confronted by a man who's reported as having a firearm, and in the threat which the police officers perceived, they shot and killed him. But all these matters, these 5 fatal shootings, are being investigated now. We don't have any further information which I'm able to provide at this time.
Assistant Commissioner of Indicom, Hamish Campbell. Gunmen who remove serial numbers from illegal weapons in an attempt to make them untraceable are being warned that their efforts will fail. This as the Jamaica Constabulary Force assures that its Forensic Services branch has the capacity to function at internationally accepted standards. Speaking with RFM News during the JCF's Transformation Expo at the National Arena today, Operations Officer in the FSB, Deputy Superintendent Miguel Bernard, said that it's a criminal offense to alter firearms. He said the offense can result in a maximum of 10 years imprisonment.
The Forensic Services branch, which is a branch within the crime and security portfolio, we have 5 strategic priorities: wanted persons, linked investigation, focused deterrent, and gang investigations. So what is done within the Forensic Services branch is directly tied to those strategic priorities, as well as the strategic priorities of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And so it is important to remind the public that it is a criminal offense as per the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act of 2022 to remove or alter any marks on a firearm. And this act now makes that a criminal offense which did not exist before. And persons should know that in the parish court you can face up to 5 years imprisonment, or in the circuit court up to 10 years imprisonment for altering or removing any mark.
He warned that if criminals choose to alter firearms or remove serial numbers, there are ways to still trace the guns.
Let it be known that if these marks are removed, the forensic within the national security apparatus, we do have the competence, the technology, and the skill to recover these altered or obliterated marks on the firearms, no matter how badly they are obliterated. We have the competence to recover those marks.
The FSB is a newly established unit, an essential addition to the JCF's crime-fighting capabilities. DSP Bernard noted that though the JCF always possessed forensic capacity, the establishment of the FSB allows it to respond to the needs of investigators.
Our forensic services were historically under 2 separate branches in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, namely the Criminal Investigation Branch that would have the traditional forensics aspect of it, so that's the fingerprint, the ballistics, the question documents, the traditional forensics that was under the Criminal Investigation Branch, and the Cyber Forensics, which is the Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division, was a division under the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Branch. Now, what this establishment of this new branch, among other things, is to consolidate all the forensics into one branch that is focused on forensics. So you now have the Technical Service Division that deals with the traditional forensics, and the Cyber Communication Forensics and Cybercrime Division within one newly established branch. So it is not that we weren't doing forensic science before, but now we have a branch that is solely dedicated to building out forensics and enhancing and improving operational readiness, timeliness, and enhancing the product in general.
Operations Officer in the Constabulary's Forensic Services Branch, Deputy Superintendent Miguel Bernard. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake says the Jamaica Constabulary Force will continue to improve its quality of service to citizens. Dr. Blake made the comment during the JCF's Transformation Expo at the National Arena moments ago.
We are investing in our people by recruiting thousands of new members, by providing internationally accredited training and development force-wide, and by nurturing leadership, resilience, and purpose in each member. Ladies and gentlemen, we are raising the bar of the quality of service we deliver to you through our ISO 9001 certified quality management system, our professional training accreditations, and a renewed focus on service excellence.
He also noted that greater focus is being placed on technology to boost efficiency within the police force.
We are embracing the power of technology to build smarter, faster, and more responsive policing across the nation. Yet, perhaps the most profound shift taking place is one you cannot touch or feel. It is a cultural and operational awakening, one that recognizes in today's world the most powerful weapon in policing is not the brawn, but rather the brain. This is why we have introduced the JCF Mensa Lecture Series, which is a symbolic and substantive statement that the force we are building is defined by its intellect, its versatility, and its strategic depth.
Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, is enhancing transit operations in Spanish Town, St. Catherine and surrounding areas with 63 new compressed natural gas buses. These represent the first batch of 100 buses expected to arrive before the end of this financial year. Outfitted with features aimed at enhancing the passenger experience, the new buses offer increased leg and shoulder room, high ground clearance, and improved air suspension for a smoother ride. Additionally, the buses are equipped with upgraded air conditioning systems designed to better withstand the tropical climate. Speaking at a function to mark the arrival of the buses, Transport Minister Dar Vaz described the move as a game changer for public transportation in Jamaica.
These buses, CNG, will be stationed and operate out of the Spanish Town depot. So the last 120 CNG buses operate out of the Portmore depot. We are putting in a new CNG plant as we speak at Spanish Town, and therefore these buses will be stationed at the Spanish Town depot, giving improved service to the Spanish Town and surrounding areas. And of course, those buses that are now at Spanish Town will be redeployed in some instances to improve this existing service and to continue to expand the routes. This is a game changer for public transport in Jamaica.
Transport Minister Dar Vaz. The second batch of buses is expected to arrive on July 9. Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones, has called for a global partnership against road crashes. He made this statement at the Regional Motorcycle Safety Forum this morning. Dr. Jones said for success to be achieved, countries cannot stand alone but must collaborate.
And so as we kick off the regional think tank with participants drawn from 10 countries, from the Americas and the Caribbean and from various international institutions, we should all bear in mind that we need each other. We need each other in the Caribbean. We need each other in Central and in Latin America. We need each other in Europe and as far away as in Geneva, the headquarters of WHO. We need to remember that there's strength in numbers, that there's wisdom to be gained from shared experiences, and that together, as Michael Jackson once sang many years ago, we can make this world a better place. A better place to live and to do business and to raise children. A stated goal of the Jamaican society. We are gathered here to think regionally and to act locally.
Dr. Jones noted that countries must be laser-focused on protecting citizens. He highlighted the number of motorcycle deaths within Latin America and the Caribbean.
We shall aim to be laser-focused on our theme, Heads Up Regional Think Tank. Laser-focused on how to get certified helmets on the heads of our motorcyclists every time they drive on a motorcycle. Every single time, regardless of how short is the intended travel time. Laser focus on driving down the number of fatalities suffered by unprotected motorcyclists. To date, 50 motorcyclists have died on our nation's roads, out of a total of 177. And laser focus on driving down the extent and amount of injuries that motorcyclists suffer.
Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation has sought to set the record straight about the impact of the new social housing program. The program, which provides houses for vulnerable persons, has been in the spotlight following the Auditor General's report on government social benefit programs. The report raised concerns about the administration of the initiatives. The opposition has also questioned the number of houses constructed under the program. Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Permanent Secretary Arlene Williams were in St. Thomas today for the handing over of more houses. Speaking in Whitehall, Ms. Williams defended the program, saying it is one of the most successful and impactful programs rolled out by the government.
There is no beneficiary fraud because of the stringent processes that we apply. What we are rolling out is a very comprehensive program, because when we go around, we look to see those persons who are most needy, who are most vulnerable. We have constructed 293 houses. There are 43 others that are very near completion. And there are also 65 others which are at various stages. These are to commence very shortly. And so when you add up that, you're going to see that in short order, we would have constructed a little over 400 houses. Now, this to me is a significant achievement. So I know a lot of you are social media savvy, and you would have been hearing various things about the program. And
who is the Minister of Housing, has instructed that more houses be built and that the projects go at a faster rate.
We have heeded to what the Prime Minister has said. And as a matter of fact, where houses were taking months to complete, we can now do a house in a little over 3 weeks. If that is not an achievement, I don't know what is. This house took 5 weeks to complete. And because of the terrain, it took a little longer. So I'm saying to you, hold faith, have heart. As the program is the Hope program, I want you to maintain that hope, because more houses are coming, and they are coming to you at a faster rate.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Arlene Williams. The ministry has indicated that there are challenges, as this aspect of the program requires persons to own the land or have permission to build. A Westmoreland man and his partner had charges against them withdrawn in relation to the seizure of marijuana at their home last month. Jermaine Jackson and Melissa Blake were charged on May 27 after police seized over 70 pounds of marijuana at their premises. The couple's attorney, Dr. Marcus Goff, told IRFM News that his clients were on bail with a court date for Tuesday, June 17. He said when they appeared in court, the charges were withdrawn after he presented documents to show that the marijuana was being cultivated for religious purposes and his clients were legally authorized to cultivate the plants.
And when we went to court, the first court date, I was armed with documentation to show that the organization that he is a part of, was a fire organization that's called Herbs for the Pure, has been authorized to do cultivation of Rastafari sacramental ganja, and that he was authorized by the Rastafari organization to be cultivating for the benefit of the Rastafari community. And so the case was withdrawn by the clerk of court in the Sablamara court this week, and we were able to thereafter go to the Sablamara police station next door to the court to retrieve all of the wrongfully seized ganja and related equipment.
He is calling on the Commissioner of Police, Dr. Kevin Blake, to inform his officers of citizens' rights to grow and cultivate ganja. Dr. Goff lamented that members of the Rastafari community have been victims of injustice for too long. He has threatened to take further legal action if the police continue to seize marijuana wrongfully from members of the Rastafari community.
To me, it's another affirmation by the justice system that Rastafari have rights under the law. The police don't seem to appreciate that. Not all other police seem to appreciate that, right? And so we still have some police who feel like it's only 2 ounce Rastafari have a right to. When the law expressly says that the 2 ounce restriction is not applicable to Rastafari using ganja for religious purposes, right? So it's another affirmation of our rights in the justice system, but unfortunately, we realize that the courts alone saying so is not sufficient. We want the intervention of the Commissioner of Police to be able to speak to all rank and file police, to know the rights of the Rastafari community under the Penal Drugs Act, and to be aware that if they continue to breach Rastafari rights, then the legal system, the police force will be sued in court because enough is enough. We're tired of police abuse. It's been going on for too long, and our rights are now protected by law. Police must back off.
Attorney at Law, Dr. Marcus Goff. The opposition People's National Party has argued that greater effort must be made to ensure that existing operating theatres at hospitals are working efficiently and consistently. The call was made by opposition parliamentarian Dr. Maurice Guy while making his contribution to the sectoral debate in the lower house on Tuesday. Dr. Guy was reacting to comments by Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton last week that another 27 new operating theatres will be added to hospitals over the next 2 years. He said the next PNP administration will do more to reduce patients' wait time for surgery.
Every operating theatre from KPH to Cornwall Regional will be made fully functional. No more years-long wait for surgery. We will move from ribbon cutting to cutting hernias and saving lives. And Mr. Speaker, even as we await the promised land with the announced 27 new theatres, the government must get the existing ones working efficiently and consistently. There is a better way of delivering health service to the people, and we are committing to do that in the new PNP government to take office later this year.
He also pledged that the PNP government will ensure that all hospitals are equipped with functional diagnostic equipment, including CT scanners.
We will expand urgent care centres and extend clinic hours, and with the minister start some of that, ensuring that Jamaicans can access care quickly and efficiently without sleeping on benches or floors or even being herded like cattle in the current A&E areas of our hospital. Every parish hospital will be equipped with functional diagnostic equipment, including CT scanners. And we don't need specialist radiologists for these. We need radiographers because we use, Minister, as you have indicated, the ICT backbone to read these. No more waiting for ambulances to transport patients for basic scan.